Attitude. How can you have a better attitude at work? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Have you ever wondered why some days you have a good attitude, some days you have a bad attitude, some days you don't even know what's going on, you're just in a bad mood and you don't know what's happening. You see a person and you want to snap. Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you asked yourself, how can I have a better attitude in this workplace? Let's take a moment to observe the person. Think about the person in your workplace who, when you think about good attitude, they're the ones who come to mind. What attributes do they have? How do they carry themselves? How do they relate with people? How is it that you can tell? And everyone else usually looks at them or looks up to them as the person who has the good attitude. There are a couple of things that you will notice about them. They are usually very relaxed. They are rarely tired or seeming like they are overwhelmed by the tasks or by what is going on. While people want to hang around them, they are not busybodies all over the place in everyone's business, gossiping, knowing what's happening about this or knowing whatever is happening in the office. No. They're usually very calm, very relaxed, very controlled, very inviting. It's like you're invited to, you just want to spend time with them. And how do you think they do that? How do you imagine that they do that? It is because they have learned how to manage their energy. Having a good attitude is all about managing your energy, because in order to have a good attitude, you have to have energy. It takes energy to remain positive, to remain composed, to remain relaxed in a workplace. When you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when you haven't slept enough, you begin to snap, you begin to get moody, you begin to have a bad attitude. So how can you manage your energy? How can you manage your energy at work? Now, when we talk about energy, at times it's something that maybe you have not heard of or you have not considered, but let me ask you a question. Have you ever received a phone call from someone and you saw their name on your phone and you just felt the energy leave you? you just felt immediately tired? That is someone who is sucking out energy, and that feeling that you have is energy that is actually leaving you, which means that you have energy. There's something called energy within you that just enables you to go through the day or to manage or to handle situations and tasks and people. Now, the things that affect our energy, there could be more, but I'm just going to, in this particular video, I want us to focus on people, tasks, and events, because these are the things that we encounter at work. So we need to observe the people, the tasks, and events that affect our energy. So how we can manage our energy at work is by paying attention to those three things. Now again, the three areas that you need to observe as you're paying attention to these three things are: 1, the things that energize you; 2, the things that are energy vampires, they suck the energy out of you; and 3, rest. How is it that you replenish your energy? The first thing I want us to talk about are the energizers. What are the tasks? Who are the people? And what are the events that energize you? You need to know this about yourself, because this is how you protect and this is how you replenish your energy while you're in the workplace. I'm going to use myself as an example. One of the things that really energizes me is solitude, because I am introverted, but also I really love spending time with myself, and that's how I get to energize. I really feel like it's almost like I am plugged into a socket, and I am just getting energy within me when I spend time by myself. So what I used to do when I would report to work, I would report to work at 6 a.m. Yes, I don't like waking up early, but because I knew that solitude is something that's important to me, I was at work usually by 6 a.m. At times I was in office by 6 or by 6:30 a.m. and I would have like 2 hours of solitude before anyone comes in. And by the time people start pouring into office, I am energized, I am ready to actually face the day. If I came into work late and I found the office already packed with people, then my day was kind of messed up, because I did not have that time to spend by myself to get that energy in order for me to manage or to handle the day. The other thing is the tasks. That was solitude energizes me. Tasks, the type of tasks that energize me are puzzles. I love puzzles. From the time that I was young, I loved crossword puzzles. When my mom came home from work, she came home with a newspaper because she knew that Jennifer wanted to fill out the crossword puzzle. So the way that I applied that to my work is I would turn tasks into puzzles. If I was given a task, I would create a question that would make me go deeper into the task, make it a puzzle, and make it something that I need to discover, pieces that I need to put together. And somehow, that's how the tasks became interesting to me, because I turned them into puzzles. So now I was like, let me discover more about this. If something wasn't working, I was like, what could be causing this not to work? Not just for me to give up and say it's not working and report that. No, I would go a little bit deeper, discover things, and actually solve puzzles. At times I even solved puzzles that not the manufacturer, but the people who are like the vendors of the software hadn't solved. And it actually got me a lot of points, even in appraisals, because I had created a puzzle, and because puzzles energize me, I would go deep and deep and deep and solve it and feel really good about the work I'm doing. The third type of things that energize me is things that require growth and learning. When I'm growing and I'm learning, that really energizes me. So I would always find opportunities for me to grow and learn in tasks. Even about people, when I was engaging with people, I wanted to learn more about them. That is what helped me to interact with people. When I'm like, let me discover more about this person. Let me learn more about what you're saying. Let me learn more about what you're going through. So that's how I kept myself energized while in the workplace. And when I had that energy, I had a good attitude. I was able to attract people. I was able to remain stable and relaxed because I had energy. I was feeling energized. Now, the second things that you need to look out for are the energy vampires. The people, the tasks, and the events that suck your energy. Even thinking about them just sucks the energy out of you. Now for me, as I said before, I'm introverted. Parties suck out my energy. It's like even thinking about going to a party is like, I just feel drained. So I was aware of that, and I always prepared myself. I took time to prepare myself for office functions and office parties so that I would show up, have a blast, but then I knew what I needed to do to re-energize myself. Now this is where people really come in. The people who are energy vampires for me are the people who are full of drama and politics, gossip, and all that kind of stuff at office. So personally, I stayed away from that. I kept myself away from that, because when I hang around people like that, it's like the energy just left me, and I almost became irritable. So what I did was I would identify if this is a person and that is their tendency. That is the way that they want to operate. They are into politics, they are into gossip or backbiting, they are just drama, they are full of drama. I'll just stay away from them. Actually, as a person, if there is a lot of activity in a place, if there is drama that's happening, an accident or something that's happened, and there is a lot of activity, I will step away from it. I will walk away from it because I need to find a place of calm. I need to find a place of peace. Now, the other thing is that tasks that are energy vampires for me are the mundane and repetitive tasks. If you're making me to do something that I don't have to think, it's not exciting, I'm not learning anything, it's like I'm dying. It's like I'm actually dying. It's like the energy is being sucked out of me. So these are some of the tasks where, as I said before, I would turn the task into a puzzle. Because if it's a task that I must actually do, and it's mundane, and it's sucking the life out of me, I would find a way to create a puzzle. And in the end, that would be my exceptional contribution during the appraisals, because they would say, Jennifer did this, and she was able to uncover this, or she was able to resolve this, because I turned the mundane task that would have been an energy vampire into a puzzle, and I solved it. So that's how I manage the energy vampires. I'm hoping that this is helping to think about the things that give you energy, the tasks, the events, and the people that energize you, and the ones that suck out your energy. They're actually vampires that they drain you of energy. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is rest. Rest is so important. As I said before, those people who we look at, the ones who you've thought about, The ones who have a very good attitude, if you notice, they have clear boundaries about work. They're not the ones who are trying to do all the work. They're not the ones who are trying to come in over the weekend and work over the weekend if they don't have to. They're not the ones who are trying to stay at work late to overwork. They usually have very clear boundaries about their leave, about their working hours, about their lunch time, about taking breaks. So rest is a third thing that's very, very important about work, about having a good attitude at work. How are you doing on leave? Do you take your leave? When did you last take your annual leave? That's number one. When you take leave, do you actually unplug from work, or do you keep checking your work email? Do you keep calling work people? Do you actually unplug? Because you need to take time away and totally reboot. I would call it rebooting. It's like you turn off the machine and you will turn it on again. So do you actually unplug from work? During the day, do you take time away just to rest, to take a walk, like maybe when you have lunch? We had people who, after having lunch, they'll take a walk around the block just to give yourself space, look at something different, breathe in fresh air, because they're outside the place where we used to work. So do you take time during the day to just take a step away from work and rest your mind, rest your body, introduce your mind to other things and your eyes to other things? Your weekends, what do you do over your weekends? Do you actually rest when the work day ends? Actually, when your work day ends, what time does your work day end? Are you staying at work longer than you have to? Because even if you leave the work today, if it's not like the deadline is today, you leave the work today, you will find it tomorrow. You can always pick it up. Because at times what happens is we are so hard on ourselves that we end up doing too much, staying at work late. First of all, you don't have lunch. You're staying at work longer than you should. You don't have weekends because you're working. It is never that serious, really. Take a break. Take a break for yourself. Take a break from work. Actually, what I usually say is that rest is a part of work. Unless you have deadlines, unless you're behind on something, you can always stop at the time when the work is supposed to stop and pick it up tomorrow when you're fresh. So find ways to rest daily, to unplug at the end of that is during the day, and at the end of the day to close your day when you're meant to close your day, unless there's something urgent that's actually happening. Weekly, to actually withdraw from the work and take time away and rethink things. Every month, to have a break, to have like a break at the end of the month where you do something different. You actually go off and do something different. Taking your leave quarterly, even annually. So find ways to plan your rest, to plan that small bits of rest, to plan rest between tasks, to make sure that you are rested, because that is the way that you actually control and manage your energy. Remember that rest is a part of work. Resting is a part of work. So where have you been dropping the ball as regards managing your energy, and how has this been showing up in your attitude at work? Because once your energy drops, your attitude becomes but it becomes shaky. It's very easy for you to be rattled by what is happening. So just take a note of where it is that you've been dropping the ball, and then see how it is that you can plug those holes, or that you can fix that, or you can begin to plan your day, or to plan your work much better, and even to plan your relationships and your tasks much better. If you'd like us to do some work together on this, you can reach out. There is going to be a link in the description of this video. Reach out, let's have a discovery call and have a discussion about how we can come up with a plan for you to manage your energy better, so that you can have a better attitude at work.